Okay, this is the orientation to Nursing 792. So we're starting out in the announcement section. So this is just kind of an overview, but the one thing I do want to highlight just up front is that when we're looking at this particular course, we need to make sure that all of your practicum information, all of the documents in your portfolio, and all of your 1,000 total practicum hours need to be completed by April the 1st. So just keep that in mind and be very proactive to make sure that everything is in order by that date. So don't wait until the last minute to complete some of those components. So as we're opening the course, I'm going to open it up early, and I will not be present in the course until January the 14th when the course itself starts. So if you need me, feel free to email me and I will respond to you. And just know that as we're starting out a little bit early, it's during break, so it may take me a little longer than typical to respond to you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the course itself. Here is the faculty link, and my contact information is here, so just know that that is available to you. And this is the Start Here section. So in this particular section, there is the syllabus, of course. So take a look at the syllabus and pay special attention to the evaluation requirements for this course. This is just kind of a general timeline. Like I said, we will be establishing your particular timeline for you because this is a very student-driven independent course. So we'll be setting those dates very shortly. Just remember that we do need to meet either by phone, by Zoom, or if you want to meet in person, that's fine too. We need to set those dates together for your contract, and you'll be devising a contract. So we have, of course, the DNP Nursing Project guidelines, and we have all the rubrics in this section, and then we have the schedule for everyone's DNP projects. And just know that on different days you can attend. You can attend virtually if you're not scheduled on the same date. So it's really helpful to actually support those who have been in your cohort throughout this period of time. So even being there via Zoom is a help as well. There are some general textbooks, and just know that the 2 textbooks are for resource purposes. You don't have to go out and get them. I believe you may already have them. But the one that is mandatory is, of course, the APA manual. So that's kind of an overview of the Start Here section, and then we're going into the leadership modules, and we're going to start out in the very first week establishing that contract. So if you want to take a look before we dive into actually entering the dates in the contract, I have pulled all the questions out on a document so you can look at what the questions are, so you can start thinking about dates. And just keep in mind that there has to be time allowed for the review and revision process as you're looking at dates for completion. So we'll be setting a date the first week of the course to talk about those due dates for this 792. So in student learning outcome number 1, it's our practicum clinical log, and just remember that is due April the 1st. We're going to go back out and look at student learning outcome number 2. And this is looking at your project. So there is a document that is the final project evaluation form, and I do have a little tutorial on this form itself because it will help you as you're formulating your final project, things that are really critical to demonstrate that you've completed a DNP level project. So this is the final project evaluation that will be used when you do your final presentation to, again, signify that you've completed the requirements and have the competencies and the proficiencies and the wisdom of a DNP prepared nurse. Of course, you'll have your preceptor evaluation and the form that signifies that you've completed all your practicum requirements. Learning outcome numbers 3 and 4 have been lumped together, and that is your final paper. So you will meet those student outcomes based on your final paper. As we go on back into our final learning outcome, which is learning outcome number 5, this is your presentation. So this, we have a template for your presentation, and it is mandated that all students use the same template. And there's some final guidelines for what needs to be included in your final presentation. So these two are critical as you're completing your final presentation. And of course, then there's also the rubric, the overview, how you will be graded on your presentation. But always remember, use that final presentation guide, because those are the components that will make you successful, are including those components in your presentation that will make you successful in completing the presentation and achieving a good grade on that presentation as well. I've also included some final presentation practice questions, and since you are mine, as far as I'm your chair, I do have a practice session with all of my students, because I think it's critical to think through the presentation, because you will actually be asked some questions, and I have some preparatory questions. And once you have your presentation completed, I will review your presentation to make sure that there are no errors. And we will go through and do a practice run, and I will be asking you questions just to prepare you for that final presentation. And I found this to be very helpful to the students, and I've gotten really good feedback from cohort number 1 that it really helped them to feel more confident as they were doing their presentation. And their presentation, I must say, was really very good. So that's the goal. We want you to shine with your presentation, because you have worked very hard, and we want to make sure that you really portray your expertise on your topic. So that's what we're going to do when we do the practice. There are also some just general type YouTube videos just to kind of look at presentations. I do want to highlight that professional attire is required at the presentation, so please don't use this as a role model as far as the wardrobe for the presentation. And then, though this is a PhD defense, there's some really good information included, so just kind of keep that in mind and take a look at it as you prepare for your presentation as well. So those are our modules. One thing, again, as you jump into the course, there's just a few questions. This is not a graded discussion board by any means, but just I need to get a feel for where you want to be, how you want to handle this course. Do you want interaction throughout the course? Do you want it to be very independent? Do you want a mix of both? Whatever works best for you is what I want to do. So that's where I want some feedback from you. You will also be doing your DNP graduate survey, and that comes later on in the course itself. We also have the one-stop library shop, which you're very familiar with, but it is included in this course, so you have that one-click access to the library. And again, the same information holds true for the help desk and IT support. There's the one-click avenue to get to those support services. And of course, my virtual office hours, and I will do virtual office hours or meetings with you whenever you need them. So please let me know, and please be very upfront if you need some guidance, and we can talk by phone, we can Zoom, whatever works best for you. I just want to make sure that I provide you with the information that you need to feel confident and comfortable with the final leg of your DNP. So that's the overview for the course itself. If you have any questions or concerns, just let me know. I will be going through like the rubrics and those types of things as we get a little closer. So thank you so much. Take care.